Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, everyone. First of all, I want to thank God for giving me this amazing opportunity, and also to Victoria, my mentor and coach. I'm going to introduce myself real quick for those who don't know me yet. What is it that I do and my mission? Hello, my name is Maritza Rico. I am an entrepreneur, lifestyle mentor. My mission is to help women who have been gone through situations of domestic violence to have a better future through personal development and to build their business or legacy and to have a lifestyle of their dreams. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have a surprise. Sorry, I can't even talk. We have this amazing guest today. Her name is Jenniffet. Welcome, Jenniffet. Do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit of your background, please?
Okay. Thank you, Marissa, for having me. First of all, I love talking to women and uniting together and helping people. So this is an amazing opportunity. I appreciate you so much for doing this. My name is Jenniffet O'Loughlin. I am a single mother of two, domestic violence survivor. I basically am doing the same thing that Maritza does. I jumped into this industry not really knowing which way I wanted to go with it. But I did know that I wanted to help women who have gone through the same things that I went through. So I have a community. It's called Mom Bosses Unite, and it's about empowering women in business, women who aren't in business, moms in business, not moms in business, just women in general. And self-development for me is what got me through got me out of what I was going through. So that's major to me, and I know how powerful self-development is. So I push for that, and Maritza is on the same mission. So again, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Jennifer. So Jennifer, we're going to start with a few questions that I have for you, if you don't mind. And also, after that, we're going to get some tips and advice from you.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
We're going to start, Jennifer. So one of the questions is, how many years were you in that toxic relationship? For how long?
I started dating him when I was about 13. It was just a little, silly love, like, oh, that's my boyfriend, peck on the cheek type thing for a long time. And when I turned 19, we ended up moving to his family house, and that's when everything started. So I will say from the age of 19 or 18 till I'm 32 now. So it's like, I just left him 2 years ago. So I would say 16 years.
Wow.
A long time. And all those years, yeah.
Which, Jennifer, which was one of the biggest obstacles for you to leave that relationship?
My children, and just that was my comfort. Although he abused me, I was comfortable with him. Like, that's what I knew. That's all I knew for all these years. So it was just home for me. It was like, whenever I did try to leave him, I felt alone. I felt like I was doing something wrong. So I would always go back. And after I had my kids, that's when it really was like, I can't leave this guy. Like, no matter what's going on, I have to keep my family together. So it was that. And ironically, my children were the reason why I left him. My oldest, my 10-year-old, he asked me to leave him. He told me that he was tired, that he didn't want to watch that go on anymore. So he asked me if I could just stop. He wanted me to be done with it. So that's how yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And how did you feel in those moments when your son told you to leave him? Because it wasn't you, like, basically making the decision, but your son was doing it for you.
Yeah. When he asked me, it was kind of a relief because I wanted to get out of it. You know, I was sad. I was depressed. I felt broken every day. Like I couldn't function as a mom. So when he asked me, it was a relief. It was like, okay, I can do this. You know, the little one wasn't old enough to really know what was going on, but it was more the older one because because with a lot of kids who go through like traumatic stuff like that, they end up being really mature beyond their years. And my son is like, oh my God, like when he talks to me sometimes, I'm like, oh my God, this kid is not a kid. Like everyone who meets my son says that he's so mature. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he sat down with me one day and he was just like, Mom, you know, he's like, we don't need him. Mm-hmm. We can do it. We can do it together without him, you know, just... Mm-hmm. I don't want to see you like this anymore. Because he would see two different people. Mm-hmm. I was one way when it was just me and my kids. And then when their dad came around, I was like locked in my room, quiet, barely saying anything with my head covered. Like I was not the same person. Yeah. And so, yeah.
And I totally admire you for stepping out of that situation. And also to prove your kids, you know, that it's not okay to stay there. You answered the question. One of my next question was your main motivation to step out of that relationship. But you mentioned it was your son who brought it up. Mm-hmm. Now, Jenniffet, we always see you like joking around with smiles here and there. But what were you fearing? What was your fear about leaving?
Well, I was afraid of him. He would tell me that he was going to take all of our lives if I left him. So I was afraid to leave him. Mm-hmm. And other times that I did try to break up with him, he would like wait for me outside of places, and you know, just it was scary. I never knew, you know, what was going on. And even in one instant, he pulled out a gun on me. He put a gun to my head. Wow. I was holding my 4-year. He's 4 now, but he was 2 at the time. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even know he had a gun in my house. And I had just found out that he was sleeping with another woman. And we were actually in the middle of being evicted out of our home. And I asked him, I said, are you still going to help us move? Because I don't have any family here. Like, I need you to help us get a place. I don't want my children to be homeless. Mm-hmm. And he was upset with me. He said no. And he was like, okay, well, so now you're not going to be with me anymore. And I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not my focus. Like, no matter what's going on, my kids need a home. Mm-hmm. And he walked away and he's like, I'm just tired of all of this. And I was like, I don't know, you know. And he walked off and then he came back with a gun in his hand and he put the gun to my head and he was just like, he's like, that's it. He's like, it's over, you know. He's telling me that he's tired of me playing games with him. And I was just like, are you serious? You know? Yeah. So when I finally got away from him, I was afraid that, I would say that was one of the reasons why I stayed. Like, I didn't want to live like that. I didn't want to live like, you know, looking over my shoulder and God forbid I walk outside of my door and he's waiting for me somewhere. So I was like, you know, I'm so used to the fighting. I would rather just stay than be afraid like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my fear. That was my biggest fear. And then just my kids not being able to see him because he's the kind of person that it's like all or nothing. So it's either he's a father and we're together or nothing. Wow. So, and I didn't want my kids to go through that. Right. Yeah. So, yeah. But my biggest fear was that, like, he would take me and my kid's life.
Thank you for sharing that with us because sometimes we fear things like that, but we don't know what they're going through, like in their mind, and like you said, you didn't even know that he had a gun there, and after that, what did your did your son told you, or did he say anything? Your baby?
Well, the oldest didn't know about it. He wasn't there when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to keep as much stuff away from him as possible, besides, the things that he would see on his own. I always tried to just keep a brave face and, keep pushing forward for him, because I had already had in my mind that my son was traumatized from all of it. So it was like, let's try to just I don't want to make it worse for him. So I didn't tell him about that. But it got to the point where we were fighting every day, every day. I had it was one instance where he just came home. He was drunk. He was upset, and we started fighting. He took a vase and just slammed it on my face. So I have a scar here. I was bleeding. I didn't want to go to the hospital. I just put some stuff over it and I covered it, and I was bruised and stuff. And my son asked me, he's like, "Mom, what happened to your face?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I just, I hit the corner of the door," something like that. I told him, and he was looking at me like, "No, I know." So then I was like, "Oh no," it was just things just started getting crazy, and my son was noticing too much of it, and me hiding it just wasn't working anymore. It was like, no, I had to do something.
What advice can you give us and our beautiful people out there, if they're going through this situation, or if they went through this situation in the past?
See, and this is where my passion is, because a lot of times when we go through these things, when we come out of it, it leaves us just messed up. It's like you feel like you can't go on, like you can't be great, like you can't do anything, because why? We're taught all of this stuff. They put all these things in our head to keep us broken down so that we never leave them. So they tell you, you're going to be nothing. Nobody's going to want you. Who's going to want you with all those kids? And you're disgusting, and you're ugly, and you'll never be anything. So it doesn't take long for that to affect you. I was with him for years. But it could take a few months for a man to break a woman down like that. And, for the women who do make it out of situations like that, they end up going back because they believe all of these things. And this is why self-development is so important, because self-development helps you see your value, see your worth, and understand that you're supposed to live a happy, abundant life, not a life in misery with someone who doesn't love you, because that's not love. It's not love. No matter what they tell you, it's not love. No one that can say that they love you will ever hurt you in any way. So, just do it, get out. You can be great. And what I've always noticed is the times that I did break up with him for the little bit of time, I did so much. I used to that's how I got through nursing school. I did a year of nursing school, and I stayed away from him. I hid from him for a whole year. He didn't know where I lived. He didn't know where me and my children were. I hid away for a whole entire year and got through nursing school. So yeah, we do a lot better with them not around them when we do, and it's like, you find the right support and just push forward, because you're not what he says you are. You're never what your abuser says you are. Or everything they feed you is their insecurities and them knowing that you're better than and you deserve better than them. So they use their insecurities and pour those out onto you so that you'll never leave them.
Yep.
Anybody can do this. I feel like if I was able to do it, coming from what I grew up watching to living that, if I was able to do it and know my worth, I know that I'm worthy. I know that I deserve it all. I know that I deserve a good man. I know that my kids deserve a good father. If I can come out of years of having things like that drilled in my head, even before he came around, anybody can do it. Just read. Reading is so important. Read and have those right people around you that are going to help motivate you and get your mind to where it needs to be. Those people, although you might not believe it in yourself, if you hear it enough from the right people, just like you heard all the negative, if you hear all the positive from the right people, eventually you'll start believing it. So just take baby steps if you have to, but eventually your passion and your wanting for wanting more and not wanting to be around that because of what you've learned through self-development, it's not even going to be a fear of leaving the person. You'll know that you deserve better, and it'll be easier to walk away from. So yeah, that's my advice.
Thank you so very much. I totally admire you. You are a super, super warrior. Man, like, it brought tears to my eyes. Sometimes we think that we're in a bad situation, but sometimes when we listen to someone else's history or whatever the case may be, it's like, what? It wasn't even that bad for me.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you so very much. It was a pleasure, and God bless you for everything that you're doing, my love.
Thank you. I look forward to working with you. We're going to do major things with this. We are just going to help as many people as possible and help these women understand that they're worth so much more. Like, I'm excited.
Yes.
Thank you, Marissa.
No problem. Also, can you please maybe share with us your Facebook, phone number, or whatever you want to share, so that way they can find you if they have additional questions?
Oh, sure. The only thing that I use right now is Facebook, besides Zoom. Facebook is king for me. And Jenniffet O'Loughlin. It's my name is crazy. My first name is Jeniffet. Last name is Oloughglin. And if you just do www.facebook.com/Jenniffet, it'll take you right to my page. I think I'm the only person with that name out there. So
see, you're unique, my love. Thank you so very much. It was a pleasure. Like I told you, if you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach us. We are here to help you, to guide you, but most important, we can give you advice. We have been through these situations before, so if I can help you with that, my friend over here can definitely assist you as well. So thank you so very much. God bless you all, and have a wonderful Tuesday.